Making a discovery isn't, oh, you work for many years, and then all of a sudden one day the moment hits you, and then you publish your results in a mainstream journal or a respectable journal, and then all your peers look at it and are like, wow, this is incredible. And then, the next few years it goes by, and then you get awarded a Nobel Prize for your discovery. No, it's not how it works at all. Nobel Prizes are political awards. They have nothing to do with science at all. They're awards that are designed to continue the buddy-buddy system. Hey, don't step on my toes with my research over here, and I won't step on yours. And it's an award for being a part of the status quo, essentially. It has nothing to do with discovery or an insight or science. And I know this now because I've experienced what it really means to make a discovery. When a discovery was made, the Earth is actually an ancient star. I was shocked. There was nothing that could describe how I felt. Just completely overwhelmed, mind blown as to we were standing on an evolved star. And then I looked up at the night sky that night, and I learned that all those little bright dots, those are new Earths. They're not thermonuclear bombs. It's ridiculous. That's 1950s rainy day physics. Speaking of rainy day, it's raining on my car right now. I don't know if you can hear it. But when you make a discovery, realize that it's not going to be that great to other people. They're just going to give you the deer in the headlights look. Huh? I was naive to think that because I made a discovery that people would want to see it. I was like, oh my god, this is incredible, So I started sharing it with people. I shared it with my then girlfriend at the time. I shared it with her first. And I shared it with my dad, my mom. I shared it with a lot of my friends. And they were just like, oh, okay, whatever. That's cool. And I was like, well, you gotta start working on it now, Cool doesn't count. You gotta start working on it. Don't... I was like, wait a second. I'm the only one working on this. And then the world kind of got a little heavier on my back. And I realized, oh my goodness, I'm the only one that's gonna be working on this. And I was like, oh no, that can't be, no. So I started emailing a lot of professors around the world at universities, astronomy departments, physics departments. And the response I got was people ignoring me. And just never responded to my requests for help. Nothing. And then the world got a lot heavier on my back. And it felt as if I was holding up the stars. Not the Earth. I was holding up the stars. All of them on my back. And the immense weight, pressure, and sense of responsibility I felt was so absolutely overwhelming that the only thing I could do was work on the theory. Was to try to make it into something cohesive to where people could understand what I was talking about. And over this time, I believe I got somewhat of a understanding so people can digest the idea and learn what it really means. And what it means is that we got to go back in history to the late 1800s, early 1900s, and find where we took a wrong turn. We got to find where cosmology took a wrong turn, where we made a huge mistake, maybe a series of very large mistakes of pointing people's focus away from common sense and into the abstract bullshit that is astronomy and astrophysics today. Pinpointing those events is a history lesson, essentially. It's a lesson in science, and that if you really want to get why we believe what we believe, you have to study the history behind all of it, and you have to look at past events, political events even, and you have to study the egos of scientists and how they interacted with other scientists. Because I assure you, a scientist is not some clear-thinking, rational-minded human all the time. They're full of anger, they're full of ego, they're full of hate and disgust for others. They're full of pain of trying to understand the world around them. And they will lash out at others. Scientists are not these rational things that just perfectly understand everything with their perfect math equations and their perfect experiments and their perfect observations. They're people with issues, man. A scientist isn't some almighty lab coat-ish person who cannot be questioned. A scientist is a human being with emotional problems. And I've learned that a lot of people these days, they don't seem to understand that. They don't seem to understand that if there's a great discovery made, that person is going to go through hell in their mind. And that's what I went through. I went through a series of hellish events. Hell. And learning that everything that scientists know was concerning the stars was essentially wrong. All of it. What they did, why they were hot, what the Earth is, why there's life on it. All that stuff. Curiosity almost killed me inside, emotionally. There was no robot-like, oh, well, there's a hypothesis and we have to do the step-by-step method to get to the answer, to the truth. There was none of that. It was a single insight. Bam! Hit me like a fucking ton of bricks. And then immediately the weight of the world started, or the weight of the stars started crushing me down because I had so little help. If in the beginning I had a considerable amount of help, I wouldn't be where I am today. So in essence, I think that things have happened like that for a reason. That I didn't get the help that I needed for a reason, to see if I could, make it on my own. To see if I could plow through the jungle and making my own path. Because if I would have had help from others, I probably wouldn't have pursued it in the intensity that I had pursued it. And because of all the pain and misery that came with it, and the fact that I haven't really rested from it for over 3 years, I looked it up. I think I have chronic fatigue syndrome. I'm absolutely fatigued right now from working on the theory. I'm tired. My mind is like in a big fog. It's just a big cloud that's in my head. And it's made me incredibly tired all the time. I have to go to bed early every night. And I never get good rest. I'm always waking up every 2 hours. And it's really destroyed my emotional well-being. And it's really put me through the ringer. That's what a discovery does to you. It's not some happy-go-lucky, yay, pop champagne, we're gonna get a Nobel Prize today. Oh no. Oh God, no. It's not a glamorous thing at all. It's hell. And if I can have my readers, listeners, audience really understand that simple fact, and they will be better off, and all this experience that I've had won't be to waste. Today is February 26, 2015.